So how hard is tech sales on one's mental health, right? If we get into the field of sales, should we expect to need a therapist? Are we gonna pull out our hair every day? Is it gonna be that crazy? Don't worry guys, we're gonna address all these questions right now. Welcome back to the channel everybody, Danilo Capric here, aka the best dressed man in tech sales, and in this video we are going to talk about mental health. That's right, and we're gonna talk about mental health because when it comes to tech sales, there's a lot of confusion about how stressful it is and how it can impact our mental health. And a lot of people out there have gotten therapy or have said that it's very difficult, whatever. Let's go ahead and give you guys some more information around that so that way you can understand really how taxing is tech sales on one's mental health, all right? All right guys, so to begin this video, I want to just be straight up with you and tell you that yes, tech sales, any sales in general, especially if you're doing door to door, I think that's the most taxing, but it will impact your mental health, okay? And the reason for why it will impact your mental health is because, especially at the beginning, and I would say the beginning is in the first 5 years, it's very difficult, okay? You have to do things like face rejection every day. You have to do things that you don't like to do, like cold calling and cold messaging. You also have to do a lot of what I say facing failure, right? Getting hung up on, not being successful, not seeing your deals happen, and just not seeing success happen right away when other people are being successful is very difficult on your mental health. And what it starts to do is make you question your own self-worth. And even early on in my career, I started to attach my value as a person, my value in my identity to my sales results. And that was detrimental because if I wasn't hitting my number, I was feeling worthless as a person. So to be very transparent with you guys, my first year in tech sales, I absolutely got a therapist. And in my second year of tech sales, I also had a therapist, as well as my third and fourth year. And it wasn't until that fifth year, something changed for me. And I'll tell you what, and this I think is going to help you guys address this question, but around the fifth year, if you can stick it out in sales for that amount of time, something starts to change internally with you. And what starts to change is, number one, you start to get a little good at your job, right? Hopefully after 5 years, you get a little bit more successful and more intelligent. But that's the first thing. You start to realize that you've seen progress now. Also, you faced enough rejection, enough failure to where you become a little bit more thick-skinned, right? You're a little bit hardened by all those past failures and controversies you went through. So you become a little bit more thick-skinned and better equipped to bounce back from failure. Also, more importantly, you learn to separate your own personal self-worth from the actual results that you generate from your quota, so to speak. So you can learn how to become a successful person and a happy individual without necessarily crushing it in business, right? You clearly separate the two. And I think that's what the picture I would paint for you guys in terms of how does tech sales impact our mental health. I would say that at the very beginning, first 5 years, very tough, very hard up here, guys, because again, we're facing rejection every day, we're facing failure, we might not be hitting our number, we're seeing other people be more successful than us, and all of a sudden we start to attach our self-worth as a human to those results. And it's not until we go through enough of that and get a little bit of counsel or maybe outside advice from friends to realize that, wow, wait a second. I've actually been doing a very hard job for a while. I'm actually very strong and I'm actually really good at this and I'm seeing results. And wow, look at all of a sudden, I actually know how to separate my results from my identity as a person. And so because of that, I would say actually if you're able to stay in tech sales for more than 5 years, you actually become a very mentally resilient person. And what I mean is you're able to quickly bounce back from failure because you've been hung up on 1,000 times, right? You've missed out on your number before. You've failed on your face. You've gotten yelled at by a prospect. You've had a C-level executive cuss you out. I literally had somebody in a sales meeting shut my laptop, guys, literally in my face. You know what? At the time, that was super hard. That was very difficult to deal with. I felt worthless. I left that meeting feeling like, oh my God, my career is over, right? But the beauty of all those things, guys, is that with anything, right, more difficulties we encounter in life, the stronger we become internally. So what I would actually say is, while yes, tech sales can be taxing on your mental health, it's also extremely rewarding for your mental health in the long run. Okay, so if you can stay in this career for a minimum 5 years plus, oh my God, you will become super mentally resilient, able to bounce back from failures, able to be thick-skinned, able to take criticism, and I genuinely believe it will help you become more successful in life. Because again, if you are a fragile little glass automobile, right, the smallest rock is gonna break everything. But if you are a hardened tank, right, and you've been through a bunch of stuff, you can get through anything. And that's kind of the analogy that I think is appropriate for tech sales. Is at the beginning, you're this fragile little baby, right? And everything and anything is going to impact you, and you're going to feel it, right? You're going to feel it for sure. You're going to be stressed out. You're going to have days where you cry, and that's fine. But guess what? 5 years from that point, oh my God, people are going to be asking you, how did you get like this? How did you become so resilient? How are you able to do all this stuff without, crying and facing failure and just being sad all the time? You're going to say, because I've been through it all. I've been through it all. I've seen it. I fell on my face. I got yelled at. I got my laptop shut in front of me. Nothing can faze me at this point. So to answer the question, guys, I genuinely believe that tech sales is actually one of the best things you can do for your mental health in the long run. All right, guys, so there you have it. I hope that was helpful in kind of painting the picture around not only how stressful and taxing tech sales can be on your mental health, but also how rewarding it can be and how much it can benefit your mental health in the long term again. So to recap, kind of the main points here is number one, tech sales is very taxing on your mental health. I do highly recommend that you get a therapist if you are getting into tech sales, because you will have days, especially at the beginning, where you are crying every day. You are upset. You are not hitting your number. You are literally mad at life, right? Because things aren't going right. But I promise you again, if you stick it out for long enough, you will get stronger. You will get more powerful as a person. You will develop your identity as a winner, and you will be someone who's able to walk through anything, literally walk through fire, whatever it is. So again, in the beginning, very taxing. At the end, extremely rewarding. And again, if you go through these experiences, you will become a more resilient person when it comes to just walking through the ups and downs of life. So overall, I hope this gives you guys a realistic perspective from somebody who's been doing this for 9 years, who did have a therapist because of sales, and now, I'm in a much better, much more resilient state of mind these days because of all the controversy I've went through. So guys, again, I hope that gives you a more realistic sense of how taxing tech sales can be on one's mental health, but also how rewarding. So with that said, if you enjoyed the content today, please hit the subscribe button below. Also, if you're not doing so already, follow me on LinkedIn. And more importantly, if you want to learn more about tech sales, how to get in, how to crush interviews, how to level up as a sales professional in general, join us at the B2B Syndicate using the link in the description, all right? Well, take it easy, guys. Again, hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you all in the next video. Take it easy now.